All right, I'm here to introduce Andrew Cunningham, who is the CEO of a very new venture. It is a Silicon Valley startup with Australian brains at the heart of it, but Andrew will no doubt tell us why he's starting in America rather than in any other place. And 4 months ago was very early days for the venture, and you came along to me to get some mentoring. So perhaps you start first by telling us very short and sharp what the venture is, what it does, and then why you thought that mentoring might be a good idea.
Thanks for the introduction, Kevin. Corners Technology Inc., as you said, is founded stateside. What we do is we're a software as a service organisation, and what we're doing is we're bringing communications, video chat, group meetings into a much better user experience than what is currently available. So there's a number of things that impacts that, and we'll go through some of them shortly, but basically we're trying to bring people a better way of doing communication as a whole.
And we'll show you that on this video with a couple of cuts about what happens. To me, when I first saw it, it looked, I must say, like Skype on steroids. The ability to have multiple people very easily involved, and I couldn't help thinking Skype when I thought Corners Technology and what you were doing. But what essentially is very different about you from standard internet communications packages?
Look, the main things are when you use other competitive products, you have to create a meeting, you have to call somebody or invite 4 people and you wait for them to come in. And what we invariably end up doing is you organise that offline. I'm texting you or I'm calling you going, are you available now? Can we jump on? Are you at your computer? I'm about to send you an invite. That's too much hard work. There's a better way of doing that. So essentially, we effectively create a stand-up room or a group chat room that you can click a link and come into any time you like. So if the meeting is at 9, or if we have a daily chat at 9 a.m, you can roll in at 5 to 9, you can roll in at 5 past. Kevin doesn't have to sit there and click a button to invite you in or add you in. And if somebody who doesn't come in often wants to come in today, they've got the ability to do that. So we make it more casual, more like a conversation around a water cooler than a proper set physical meeting.
Okay, so it's this ability to communicate using the internet in a really user-friendly way that once you get to do it is obviously different and superior to alternatives that are on the market already.
It's just a better user experience.
It's really a better user experience for, let's call it video conferencing using the internet.
Sure.
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be a big market for better products in this area, and it's now a very established market, which Skype was a pioneer, but now it's almost a mature market, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very mature, and look, there's a lot of products obviously there, but not doing things the way that we're doing. So we're really enthused with the early results that we've got from the product, and we see massive potential for expansion in the way that we're pushing to market. Right.
Now, Andrew's a very experienced business person, really skilled in technology, and mentors don't teach grandmothers how to suck eggs. You really don't want to do that. You don't want to be telling people things they already know. But it's quite difficult sometimes to perhaps humbly suggest that maybe some of the ideas that you think are really well wrought and really well worked out are not as clear cut as you think they are. So you came to me with a fairly open mind as for me to give you some mentoring, and I had a pretty open mind as to you'd be somebody who was pretty obviously intelligent, sharp, experienced, knowledgeable in your product area, etc. But when you came to me, I did think that you were more close to having what I'd call a set of good ideas and a fair bit away from a business model, and you really thought you did have a business model, didn't you? Now, has our mentoring experience changed your view in any way?
Yeah, it has. It's great to get the inputs, information and knowledge from as many fantastic people as you can. Yourself, Kevin, we appreciate that. I appreciate that. and it gives a real rounded edge to what we're doing. So it's massively impacted, obviously, on what we're doing and how we want to do things. Having a product is one thing, but making sure that there's a model on how you put that to market, how you develop it, how you define who the target is, how you're going to go about getting those targets. They're really important things, and these are the kind of things that mentors like yourself, Kevin, can help bring you along a journey on, and obviously then going into the VEC as well. The whole journey of the way that works, it takes you from not just a product but to a business, really.
Okay, so we're going to have a fairly detailed look at the 15 questions that guided our mentoring session together, and then the report that emerged from that process. We're going to do that shortly. But what would you say are 1, 2 or 3 of the major issues where you thought you knew a hell of a lot, or you were very confident in your knowledge, and that, the mentoring experience made you think, perhaps I don't? And what were a couple or 3 of those issues where it actually reinforced what you already knew? Right? It's a bit of a composite question.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm getting at.
Look, the main things really are around trademark and these sorts of things. We had a better understanding of what we have and what we need and where we need to be in that space. And also around our target market, really going in and getting a hardened definition of who our target is. So this whole process has pushed us to do that. It's really easy to be broad and say anybody can use something, but getting in and defining who a target market is, or who the target is that you want to push out to, it's a really critical part of a business process. So there's a few things in there that obviously the whole thing has really helped guide us, and something which has given us confidence around is our ability for myself and the other founder in the organisation to see that we have a lot of social stock in this industry, and we need to use that to our advantage. Okay, so you're going to be happy to continue the mentoring process and challenge yourselves further, because you've done one pass of looking at these 15 questions, and I think you've come a hell of a long way from being hazy on too many things to being quite precise about them. And I think, to my way of thinking, that's the best value that I've been able to give to you. In one word, it would be precision. Whereas you were happy to be hazy on a few things before, I challenged you, and the questions, the process itself challenged you to say, no, what exactly do you mean by that? Can you be a bit more precise? And so on. Would you agree with that? That precision is a real yield from the mentoring process. It makes you put it down on paper, and that's the important thing, really. So hazy, what it basically does is there's a lot of areas that you kind of don't worry about so much, or we'll work on that later. What this process does is it makes sure that all of the important aspects are looked at and challenged constantly. And systematically. And there might be some things that you're strong on that you didn't know, and there might be some things that you're weak on that you thought you were strong at. And it gives you that opportunity really early on in your organisation to build strengths around those sorts of things there. So to make sure that you look at them and you challenge and you construct really good foundations before you get too deep into your business.
Fantastic. So let's now go and have a look very specifically at the 15 questions we used for our first mentoring experience.
Yeah, really looking forward to running through those and looking at the report afterwards.
Okay.